to a place where he wanted to last time, but we couldn't finish with that. It was about Silverhawks. He was saying pretty much we're all like on the ballpark of 50 years old here, and there was a lot of complaints and hates about the Silverhawks not being chromed at the beginning, and you didn't say anything, and suddenly one day, here you go, you want it, here you have it. So the question that Pelu has actually is, how do you handle the online hate, online love, suggestions, pushes? Do you pay attention to them? How do you manage all of that?
I'll try to keep what I'll do here probably is I'll answer this in multiple pieces. So I'll give you a little bit of an answer, let you translate, then give you a little bit more answer. So, I mean, first off, usually, not always, 50-50. When people complain, it's not that they're just being assholes or jerks. It's usually, a lot of times, it's because they really love something, but what you made isn't what they wanted, what they pictured in their brain. Like they've been picturing something that somebody could make for them in their brain, and I made something and it didn't match that picture. They get very angry because then it's wrong. What they don't realize is every single person in this room has a different picture in their head of what that thing would look like. So that's the first part. The second part is, how do you remember it? What is your emotional attachment to it? So Silverhawks, I'm making a Silverhawks figure. Most people didn't watch the cartoon. They instead had the toys. So when you say, oh, what does a Silverhawk look like? They're not thinking about the cartoon, they're thinking about the toy. In the opposite way, I would say, what does Han Solo look like? You're going to picture Harrison Ford because you saw that movie a million times. You're not going to picture the Kenner figure of him. That doesn't look like him at all. So then you get into what do people remember? What's their emotional connection to this line? So in what we came out with, for a number of reasons, the very first thing is it is cartoon accurate. Well, the fact that it is cartoon accurate doesn't match people's memories because their memory is a toy, not the cartoon.
Carry on.
So when we talk about how we deal with online hate or something, the first thing I do is, usually the comments are written terribly, but I try to read what they're actually trying to say. And are they suggesting an improvement? Are there something that I missed? Or is it simply that they're grumpy jerks that nothing's going to make them happy? Half the time, those answers are actually, if I strip out all the corrosive language, that there's something intangible that they want improved so that they can love it. Half of it is just people that no matter what I do, I will never make them happy. So for those comments, I don't worry about them. But for the people like Silverhawks that were example, like, I want them vac metal. I understand that. But then what we ran into is manufacturing limitations that allowed us, that we could not solve. In that regard, in the back of my mind, I'm listening though. I know that people really want vac metal. So we spent another 18 months figuring out. So let's back up 1 second. It took me over a year to develop the first figure, right? That's how long it takes me to get a figure out. Then I spent 18 months after that. So I spent 2.5 years figuring out how to make that toy work in vac metal in a way that would be acceptable. So when I finally come out with it, those people that always wanted vac metal are very happy. And then the people that were never going to be happy anyways just go, look, he lied to us. He could do it the whole time. He made me buy two. Rather than saying, oh my God, this guy, I wanted it so bad. They spent 2.5 years trying to figure out how to make it work for us.
I love your brain, but what you just mentioned here, I love you, man. You're fantastic. You're a fantastic person. Okay. Anyway, let me. Is that it, Brian? I think that answers the question perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if somebody, there's a lot of people that I think just want to complain and be jerks. There's a lot of people that complain because they'd like to buy everything and they can't afford it. And not negatively, but just it's the reality. There's more toys than you can afford. And if they convince themselves they don't want it, they feel better about it rather than they can't get it. And then there's people that just don't have good communication skills and are trying to tell you how to give them what they want, but just don't talk about it well. But so I try to filter out what people are saying into what is